Hi, my name's Sarah and I'm from Mini Munch Club. I've got two children. I've got Josie who's 5 and I've got Elwood who's just about to turn 3. Today we're going to talk about the main concerns that people tend to have with baby-led weaning, one being gagging and the other being the mess.
My name's Anna and I'm Sarah's sister, and I've also got two children, Noah who's coming up 6 next month and Allay who's 2, and we're from Mini Munch Club.
So what we found sort of talking to friends and also when we've done groups and listening to people, the main concerns are, well, probably the biggest concern is the gagging. And I think a lot of people tend to think it's choking and they'll say, I'm really worried about them choking. And choking and gagging are different things. They're kind of related, but it's different. And with baby-led weaning, there does tend to be some gagging. And I know my oldest daughter, Josie, she did gag quite a bit when she first started baby-led weaning, whereas my son, he hardly gagged at all. So I think children vary. Some will do it more than others. But I think with her, I'd read up about it. I was quite confident in what was happening and that it was okay. And I stayed relaxed about it. But I know when we've seen mums at groups really panic about it. But I think if you understand what's happening, that just makes it a lot easier. And actually I thought explaining it like this is probably a lot easier than reading it as well. So what tends to happen is when they're 6 months old, their gag reflex is a lot further forward in their mouth than in a year-old child or an adult. So when they put the food into their mouth, it'll get to a certain point and the body will naturally bring it forward and spit it out onto the tray. And it's their way of protecting themselves from choking, because they're learning a skill. They're learning how to control food in their mouth and how to stop things going too far back so that they would choke, and bringing it forward. And then as they progress through the 6 to 12 months, that gag reflex slowly moves back as they get more able to control it and better skilled at eating. So actually, it's just their way. It's just a natural thing they do, as in any reflex we've got, like blinking and swallowing, that they will do. So, and often, when they do it, it doesn't bother them actually. And the food will come out and they'll pick it up, the same piece again, and put it in their mouth again. But
I think the important thing is that they won't react, because if you don't react and you remain relaxed about it and don't make a big thing of it, then that keeps them relaxed, isn't it? And
they probably just think, what's going on, Mum? This is normal. They'll be thinking in their head.
It's nothing.
Why are you fussing about this? Because it's.
But the important thing is to never stick your finger into the child's mouth to try and fish the food out, because that's when you can push it further back. But a real distinction between gagging and choking is like you say, gagging is very much obvious.
Yeah. It is quite dramatic. Sometimes.
Whereas with choking, you would a child probably wouldn't really move much,
be quiet,
and it would
their eyes
go
would
blue.
Go up, and it's completely different. The gagging is very sort of visual and dramatic. So obviously, if they choked, then you'd need to sort of think about your first aid thing. And I think for any parent, we would recommend whatever type of weaning you're doing, that you do a first aid course. And we've got a link on our website to the St John's Ambulance video. But obviously, there's lots of first aid paediatric courses out there.
I mean, that's the thing with puree and mush weaning. You have to go through the solids introduction at some point anyway. So every child has got to get used to having solids and learning how to cope with solids. So I know some parents, when they start with the puree and the mush weaning, obviously you're spoon feeding and they're swallowing, and comes quite easily to them. But when you move into the next progression with puree and mush, where you start giving them solids, some children can then struggle with that, because it's a sudden and new texture and new thing to deal with. Whereas with baby-led weaning, obviously it's just straight away they have solids, so it's quite a different
kids
process,
struggle
really.
Progressing to lumps, don't they, with puree, but you just don't have that
with
ever
baby-led
as an
weaning,
issue.
it's just straight away. And my son did gag quite a lot, but I think obviously because I'd seen you do it with your eldest, and we sort of helped each other, didn't we? And so again, it wasn't something that worried me. However, I know initially Mum, when she saw you doing it with Josie,
she practically flew across the table.
Other people's reaction to baby-led weaning can be quite different, can't it?
Yeah.
I think can be quite shocking for someone to see a baby gag, because they think it's choking.
Yeah.
But then I think also people find baby-led weaning amazing when they actually see a 7 or 8 month old just eating solids, and you have people came up to you, didn't you, and sort of be like, what's going on here? So I mean, it's just I think it probably draws attention whatever way, really.
But the other thing is that there isn't any evidence to suggest that a child's any more likely to choke through baby-led weaning than they are through mush. So it's not a risk. You know, it's just
not higher risk.
No, it's not higher risk, and it's just them learning. So hopefully that's kind of explained it more.
There is we've written quite a detailed blog, haven't we, about gagging and choking and the difference and how to sort of cope with it. And so just check out the website, and there's the blog on there which sort of gives you a bit more detail if you feel that you want to do a bit more reading on it. And obviously there's Jill Rapley's book as well, which is really helpful, and which we both
that goes through it in detail as well. So I think the knowledge, if you've got the knowledge about it, that kind of makes you feel more confident and why it's happening. So then the second thing that a lot of people say, I didn't do baby-led weaning because it's messy. It is a bit messy. I think there's lots of things you can do to reduce the mess, and really I think all weaning's messy, and try fighting with a 9-month-old over a puree loaded spoon that they don't want or want to take off you. That's messy because it flicks here, there, everywhere.
But there's ways to cope with the mess in there. I think we both had using the bibs that come down to their arms and cover their trunk. Yeah. And also having a white clean tablecloth below the high chair.
A dog.
Yeah. They were both really helpful things, wasn't it? And and if you want a meal that isn't messy, then you choose certain foods. Or if you're in the evening and you know it doesn't matter, they're going to go in the bath afterwards, then choose something like spaghetti bolognese, because they're going to get messy, but it doesn't matter because they're going in the bath afterwards anyway. So you can pick and choose really how messy you want something to be. And obviously in the summer you can eat outside and it doesn't bother, doesn't have to bother anyone then. So
have your wipes at hand ready.
But
that again, that's it's a phase that passes, isn't it? And it doesn't really last that long. And
actually, they very quickly learnt to use cutlery anyway.
Yeah,
it's very, very quick. So because once they have that dexterity and sort of using their hands, then it all happens quite fast.
And one thing you can do with the spoon, because I did give mine porridge from a spoon. You can load the spoon up, give it to them. They'll take it off you and put it in their mouth. And then they won't want to give that spoon back to you. So then if you load up a second spoon, and they'll take that one off you, and you can take the empty one and just kind of do it like that, and that kind of avoids the struggle with a spoon if they're having something like porridge.
But I think we both found, Emily, that their relationship with food, both eldest and youngest, that it's really positive. They try lots of different things. My 2-year-old was eating mussels, out of the shell. Obviously I was helping him get them out of the shell, but he was sort of eating mussels. And there's not many 2-year-olds I think you would get eating that kind of food, and very open to trying lots of different foods, and good healthy diet. And I think just eating as a family and sharing that experience and having that with your children, it's great, isn't it? It's great fun, isn't it? It's good fun.
At the end of the day, the benefits from baby-led weaning just far outweigh probably the only 2 negatives, really.
It's certainly fitted in better with our family life, and obviously once you've got more than one child, things are really busy. And for me, I didn't want to be cooking more than one meal. I wanted to do one meal for everyone. And so for me, I think for you it just fits in really well with a busy family life. It just fits in well. They're eating good home cooked meals with no added salt, no added sugar, because you're very much you're in control of that. You're in control of what goes into their dinners and their meals. And so it just, for me, it just fits really well with our lifestyle, and them having a healthy diet and a good relationship with food.
So if you want to find out more about baby-led weaning and you're really interested in getting started with it, then go to the website and have a look at our free essential guide, which will talk you through the equipment and signs of readiness and first foods. And then there'll be lots of recipes we share. So come and join us at Mini Munch Club. Thanks for listening.
Thanks.